Let's dance.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it!
Power cord!
Speed up, hey!
Fourth, my blade!
Shred till I'm dead! Feel the beat!
I'll protect us. Incoming!
Cut to the chase!
Submit for judgment!
Go, Barbara, go!
Pyrotechnics!
Die here.
Speed of light!
Feel the beat! Don't...
One with my blade.
Dull.
Power cord!
La 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 la.
Don't blink!
Die here. Fourth, my blade.
Pyrotechnics! With sword to the shadow!
After all that training.
Let the show begin.
Power cord!
Incoming! Hey!
You're cut above.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be? You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against...
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must... Given that the Gnosis was... In fact, it might be that the Exuvia...
What? So you mean that...
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our method.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osile. Oh, if such an ancient god would be do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, using the power, but knowing that such an action will not... Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on? Exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, did we make it in time?
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for...
Oh, Paimon gets it. So, just seeing this overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's present, which is why we must stop that monster before...
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against... So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the Guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chi-Sing did, and as fate would have it, one who did craft the... For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
The 3 Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work!
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too!
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia. Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you, one wishes to witness.
Goodness. Throw up. Who's this?
Don't blink! Cut to the chase!
I miscalculated.
Feel the beat! Speed pace!
The loneliness of death.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Let's dance.
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Speed of light.
Let's end this quickly!
The ancient god's attacking again! There are so many victories too! We can't!
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Huh?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in giant cars! Wow! It's Madame Ping's shockwave! This grid is really strong!
Don't blink! Cut to the chase!
Can't run! Well,
Hey! Feel the beat!
should be fun. My work. Finished.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil! Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might! I too did this during the Archon War!
So this is what Gunyu's like in a fight!
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Nowhere to hide.
My duty.
Don't blink! Hey! Cut to the chase!
submit for judgment!
Exercise caution! I fear that the god's power has reached its peak! In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right? Time to rock!
This is...
Keep pace!
I miscalculated.
Nowhere to hide.
Let's end this quickly!
Feel the beat!
This isn't good.
You're not going anywhere!
With sword comes shadow.
Disgusting.
Incoming!
Load of this.
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace!
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liu Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liu means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liu 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liu and its lands have stood the test of time, but that does not mean that the Liu of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liu?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liu in a new light.
Forebearers, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world. But I dared not speak.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective.
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I thought this battle would perhaps, although I am a...
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and when danger is near. Thanks for protecting Liu Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liu is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their although their blood is weak. The time of contracts between gods and...
Seeing the...
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the conqueror of demons means. One fears that by the time one finds... Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart?
All right, Mooncop.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Paimon doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless rite of parting that we're organizing?